Right, good afternoon. I've been using Go Fast Bits products for a while on a few various cars. A Golf was the first thing, a Golf R that I put one on a DV X, I think it was called. So I put one of those. I then put I think it's called a response. It's like a 50-50. You can kind of run it as a recircle, you can run it as a blower file, or you can do 50-50, which is what I've set mine as on my Evo. And today I had a bit of a problem with it on the Evo. So basically what happened was, while driving along, you could hear this sort of noise, sort of at the beginning of the revs, where it was really loud air noise, and then eventually it would go back to normal, it would boost fine. And then sort of like a few, maybe 5-10 minutes later, it was just constant air noise. So basically the dump valve itself is actually stuck open. So just like a constant air leak, which is not too much of a problem in a way for the car, because I've had it mapped, so it's on a speed density map, of course, it doesn't have the airflow meter. So it drove okay, but it just had zero power basically, because it's a big huge air leak. So the problem I've got with the dump valve is actually the way it sits. It's been like this for about a year, don't get me wrong, and it has been okay up until today. But the problem with the way it sits is the way it actually points at the bonnet vent. So over time, I'm guessing, well, I've seen it do it, water will be going through the bonnet vent into the dump valve, and then when it's been raining, or like I've had the car sat for like in the rain, and then I've gone to set off, you can actually see it shoot out the bonnet vent every now and again. So that's not ideal anyway. But yeah, so it's seized, so we're going to have to take it off and take it to bits, and then see if we can service it and lube it up with some oil. Hopefully get it moving again. Otherwise we're putting the standard one back on, which I did keep luckily. But yeah, I'll show you the position of it, and you can so you can see what I mean about how it's not really ideal, but that's maybe the way I fitted it. Possibly I may look at it again when I take it off and see if I can move it slightly, so like the trumpety part is possibly pointing a different direction, but we'll go and have a look at it anyway. So this is the bonnet vent. Obviously it's got the grill behind it, so the slats there. So as you open up this, I've got to find this bonnet. There we go. And you look down here, there we go. There it is there, you can see the dump valve there. And it's sitting on that pipe now. There isn't actually really any other way I could have located that when you look at this, because of the way everything sits. It has to kind of go that way, which is not really ideal. You can see there it's open. If you look, see it's open. I don't know if it should be. I'm pretty certain that it shouldn't be. It should be shut. So we need to remove that first, and then have a look at it and possibly do something with it, which I'm not sure what we can do actually, because of the angle it's on. It's kind of dictated by this pipe here coming down onto there. Even if that pipe was in a different position, I'd probably be able to get away with putting something on there to move this somewhere else, but we'll see. We'll take it to bits first and then see what we can do. Who's put that hose clip on there? That's really bad. That was me. That's loose anyway. Excellent. I'll get to that one alright then. Cool, let's get on with this. Don't need to remove that, just need to get in there. Right, so we've returned it back to the standard dump valve. Just a factory one. For now, that means I can use the car again until I get this one fixed. It may not take a lot of fixing, but I'm still thinking that it's basically pouring in through there, straight down and into the trumpet part that points up that way. So that's probably what the problem is. Now, from what I remember of this kit that I've got, I'll have to check the packaging. It came with a blank for there. So what I could do is I could blank that off completely, and then I could just fit the dump valve straight onto where we're at with this pipe. Straight onto that pipe there. I could even have it pointing downwards if I wanted. And that should kind of solve that problem. But we'll get it working first, hopefully. Otherwise we are factory for life. So here we are, we've removed it. You can see already there where the alloy's sort of corroded a little bit, maybe because it's been getting wet. But yeah, piston's stuck open. And also, I can't even move it with my thumb at all. You could move that before, push it in. Can't do that. So, looking at this, we need to remove basically those 4 Allen key bits on the, are they Allen keys? Yeah, and 4 Allen key bits on the top there. And then hopefully the lid will come off, and then might be able to get to that piston, see if we can get the piston out. That's the plan. So, Allen key bits, tiny ones, remove those bolts. What I might do is actually, if I remove the bolts, I'll try and not let these come up because that's got a spring in it. So what I might do is I might slacken them off and, like, I don't know, I'll maybe try and press it down if I can with my hand, see how strong the spring is, I guess, in case it all flies everywhere. So it's looking like it's, well, it's not looking like it is, it's an H3 Allen key piece. So let's just get it removed. This is quite a cool, this thing, this, my father-in-law bought me this actually. So you can sort of turn it like that if you need. There you go, see? It's not just a straight up and down thing, it's pretty cool actually. Right, so get these out. They're going to be quite long bolts, aren't they? No, they're not that long. Tiny little ones actually. I thought they were going to be double the length of that, but there we go. I don't know if I'm going to have to take that centre Allen key bit out. Possibly not, because that might just go up and down to sort of adjust the spring. Obviously we'll feel the tension on it shortly if there is any. Might not be. Who knows? So 3mm Allen key bit for those. Right, let's see what happens as we start taking this one off. Nothing interesting. I thought that would have been under a bit of spring sort of pressure, a bit of tension maybe, but it's not. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so there you have. Ah, you're right. Can you see that? Look how corroded that is. Bring the light down so you can see better. See in there? Look at it all. It's absolutely knackered. Oh well. I don't know. I'm going to get that piston out. I might have to smack it out the bottom with a hammer or something. See if I can get it out and then clean it all up and lube it all up and put it back on. And then, yeah, when I say put it back on, I'm pretty much going to have to, like, sorry for the light. I'm pretty much going to have to run it as a dump valve only, because that's proper seized in there. Got all the stuff coming out of it. Right, okay. Jesus, it's proper corroded. So that's all the water that's got into it over time. Interesting. Yeah. Also, I noticed that, see there, it's got different holes in it, so you can actually basically unbolt this and turn it around to where you want it, so you can have your vacuum pointing wherever you want it to point. Anyway, less of that and more. Yeah, more. Oh, wait a minute. So if that screws off there, does that screw off the same there? It does. Does that fit on there? It does. So if that fits on there, like that, like it does it? It does, yes. Right, so if that fits on like that, that would then mean if I reconnected that up that way, the trumpet would be pointing, well, it'd still be pointing up the way actually, wouldn't it? But the opposite way around to where it was before, because before it would have been that way up. It's now going to go backwards, which is probably just as bad. So I think we are going to have to run this as a full dump valve only. It's probably the best way anyway. So next thing we need to do is we need to somehow get that piston out of there. So what I might do is I might spray it all with GT85, leave it for a while, and then try and gently push it out from that side. It's actually clean that side, but it's obviously all corroded in there, isn't it? So that's what's happened to it. I figured that's maybe what it was anyway, so it's kind of good that it is that, because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to buy a new piston for it and a new spring. I'm pretty sure they'll be readily available. I hope. Anyway, let's soak it and then come back. Okay, so we've managed to get it out. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Need a good clean up though. Yeah, it's just been catching. You see the marks on there on it. It's not been too bad, but it is definitely sort of seizing there. You can see the marks. Can you see the marks on that edge? Don't know if you can. There's marks on there where it's been stuck, been catching. So it needs a good clean up, regardless. And then we'll just leave it with some oil, and then put that back together and operate it by hand various amounts of times until we're happy with it, and then put it back on the car. Like I say, I will change it so it's pointing a different direction, but so yeah, So this wasn't too bad to strip to pieces at all. Very easy actually. And if it wasn't for this spring being so corroded, if you see on the end of there, I might try and clean that up as well. Get a wire brush on that, although I don't really think that's going to matter too much, really. That shouldn't be a problem. I might see if I can order another spring up for it at some point, just as a spare in case I decide I want to snap. But it's not that bad. But basically, yeah, this has been pouring water in through there. And that's what's caused all that. It does kind of make you wonder, because that should be sealed inside there as a tight seal, because that's what it's designed to do, and yet water still passed past it. So is that little seal there knackered? It's got a little crack in it there, or is that supposed to be like that? I don't know. Not entirely sure. But anyway, so we will give that a very quick clean up, put it all back together, and I think I'll run around with a standard dump valve for a while just to make sure the car works properly, which you should do. I can't see it being a problem. But okay, so that is the end of this video. Dismantling a GFB hybrid. So if you do fit on these to Evo, just make sure you don't have this part pointing at the sky and letting water in. That's my only advice.